Hello, hello, hello. I got my generic Play-Doh and I'm making another astronaut. And it looks good. Very, very nice. This is this is nice. Beautiful. I'll show the yellow flower also. This is nice. It is nice as a number imprinted into it. The number is 50 million. No, 50 and then some name. 09 is in there. Okay. So I'm making an astronaut. And I want to make this as relaxing as possible. Relaxing and enjoyable. I love yellow. I always loved yellow. Yellow is the color of the sun. Sunbeams of love. I have nice, gorgeous skin cream and perfume oils on. It smells heavenly. Self-mixed. Those are the best. They're called Love from Mother Earth. This one here, I can actually call this Sunbeams of Love. It smells like it. It has citrus scents in it. And this one is a mix of different, it smells a little bit like that Nivea cream from Germany. Very nice. This is a self-made sweater, by the way. I sewed a sunglass etui onto it. I sewed it way too far to the side, so now it's like partly under my armpit. But that's okay. I can still put a flower in it. I went to Walmart many times with flowers stuck in my clothes, and people would stare at me. Some people made fun of me, some people laughed about me, and some people were amused. There were some women who were very amused about that. Oh, that smells so good. smells so good. And there's a brain on the ceiling. There is a flickering brain on the ceiling. I don't know if you can see that. Point this over there. Let's see if this shows. There's the brain. This looks like the eye of the blue god, but it is a reflection from that dog ball that has rainwater in it. And when the sun shines into the water outside in those containers, and the wind is moving the water, then the water shows up on the ceiling with the waves. Looks really, really amazing. So when I got up today, this was really, really amazing. The sun was coming from there and shining into the water in an angle like that, and then it was reflecting that water reflection onto my artwork, onto right there. And it was really large. It showed up in a large spot that went from this boot all the way down to here in a long elongated projection, and the water was moving and bubbling, and that looked really, really amazing. I really enjoyed that. I pay attention to those things in my life. Those are presents from the infinite cosmos. When we see things like this, water reflection on the artwork, and when these things are not even intentional, when you put out a bowl of food for the wild animals, then the rain fills that up after the animals ate the food out, the sunflower seeds, and there is mucky stuff on the bottom of that, but that doesn't matter. And then the reflection from the sun comes into the house and looks absolutely amazing and gorgeous and pretty and beautiful. It's nice. I like to point these things out so that other people can pay more attention. You can pay more attention to those things around you in your outside environment. Most people are running through life fast and they don't see anything around them. They don't see the crows, what they're doing on the streets, and the ravens. They don't see them. They don't pay any attention. But my dad does. I talked about this before when we went shopping out there in Marina del Rey. Went to eat lunch in a restaurant. Röcken Wagner still had his restaurant there, German restaurant, very nice, gourmet pastries and German cakes. I love that. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they later moved to Venice Boulevard. No, in Venice somewhere towards Santa Monica. They had a restaurant there. I went there a few times and got the rest of their Apfelstrudel, 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 Lovestrudel. So my dad, when he saw a crow, and I would always see the crow too. My dad and I, and my mother too, and my brother too. I don't know about my brother. He probably sees a lot of animals too. He notices a lot of things too. So, but my dad in particular would pay attention to these things, and he would say, "Look at that! Look at! There's a crow sitting on a park bench." And that was in Marina del Rey. And look what he's doing. And we looked over, and the crow was whipping up and down the head and making funny sounds. Some kind of mating call, I think that's what that was. Real cute. I saw a dove. Those are the smaller versions of pigeons. They're related to pigeons. Love dove came over onto the balcony, and the baby dog was sitting right there, was not barking, and the love dove was walking back and forth in front of the baby dog, was not afraid. I thought that was peculiar. So I pay attention to all of these things. And my dog pays attention to every minute detail, including insects. So he would try to catch the bumblebees, and we tried to stop him from doing that because I don't want him to get stung. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about in my videos. I wanted to mention the enormous difference between a staffy dog, which, encompasses a wider range of dogs, Staffordshire, that encompasses any kind of bulldog mix with Staffordshire pit bulls and different types of mastiffs and different types of bulldogs and English bulldogs. So the mixed ones, they're called Staffordshire. And he is a mixed, our baby dog is mixed, a mixed pitty mix, Staffordshire mix. Very gorgeous, and he sees everything, and he's extremely fast. So very, very fast. He ran so fast earlier. I was with him outside on the lawn. I was grounding myself. He ran in seconds all the way around the whole garden in circles around the big cedar tree and all the way over to the other side of the lawn, running extremely fast. And it goes in a slope also, and enormous balance and brain balancing out every split second of his movements, and running and running and running and running many times in circles. And I was like, oh no, I always have to do this because he has already bumped into me very, very hard out there. He would do this because he doesn't know that would hurt anyone. They don't know. You have to train them with a lot of patience. Okay, I have a flower for Sandy. Yes, it smells really good. So we have to be extremely patient with our dogs and children. This is the foundation of existence, to be infinitely patient with our beings and to train them patiently with treats, with praising, with petting, with gentle voice, saying, "Well done, good job, good dog," in a gentle voice. And they learn very fast. The stuffy dogs learn very, very fast. If you are nice, if you're gentle with them, when people are not gentle, that confuses the animals. That scares them. Then they don't learn very well. When a living being is scared, they don't learn very well. They don't know better. They're just scared. Okay. They're intimidated. They're in some kind of fight or flight. They're in a shock state. So no child or any animal can learn in a state of fear, where the body goes into the fight or flight syndrome, and that creates a cascade of chemical reactions that will actually stop them from thinking and from learning. My mother made that mistake with me. So I know this from my own personal life. Okay. She caused me all of that mental illness, and some other people did as well. But my mother was definitely my primary caregiver and had the most responsibility with my training and my well-being. This is a beautiful yellow rose. You can put this in here, but I don't want clay to get in. So I'm making an astronaut now out of this. It looks really nice, the reflection on the walls and the ceiling. And when you have a swimming pool and the sun shines into the swimming pool, then it reflects that. If that's not far from your living room, then it reflects that onto your walls and ceilings, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's absolutely super and relaxing. Okay, so I'm making the astronaut now. Sun is out, it's nice. We already turned one heater off because the sun is heating it up in here. So there's a humongous difference between a Staffordshire and a Basset out. Humongous difference. I don't think they could be any more different. So that's why it took me a while to get adapted to the situation here. He already bruised me up. He runs so fast. He runs into me literally, bumps me real hard with his real hard muscular body, and almost bruised my ribs. That hurt for like a week. So we have to be careful. They have to be trained in a gentle way, okay? Very gently. They don't know better. So, when people are making a choice of getting a dog, which dog breed, to choose. So it really depends on their lifestyle. There is my stuffy dog. There he is. Yes. There is my baby. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, yes, very excellent. Alright. And this training collar works very well, but people have to be responsible with it. It has 3 settings. It has sound, vibration, and electric zap. But these collars are really good. I've always wanted a collar that has vibration, that moves these prongs in a very fast way, and that's startling. And then they pay attention, and when you call them over. But the training has to be done in a very smart and very responsible way. Most people don't even know how to do the voice command and when to press the sound or the vibration. They'll press the sound and the vibration before they say anything, and then the dog is completely confused. Okay, so people need to be educated first on how to use such a training collar. Most people don't get educated on it. These training collars, they should come with instructions, with an instruction book, actually. That's not fine print, like all these other things, like mobile phones, where you have to pull out one of those Sherlock Holmes magnifying glasses. I don't even have one of those. I can't even read that. It's so fine print. I don't understand why it's such a fine print to save on paper, so that they can say, yeah, it came with an instruction manual, but people can't read it, because it is so incredibly finely printed, and then also in some kind of light brown or gray, where it's really, really faint. And this happens particularly on any kind of food package. You have to bring your Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass with you when you go shopping, and you have to go like this. Oh, it has aspartame in it. I'm gonna put it back into the shelf. Sugar, no thank you. High fructose corn syrup, here, I'll put it back in the shelf. Food colorants, here, you can keep it. So that's why they make it in fine print, because they don't want you to put it back in the shelf. They don't care if that hurts your health or anything. No. Corruption. People are corrupt and selfish. Baby dog, no. Yeah, and that's another thing. You have to constantly monitor your stuffy dog. Constantly. Constant monitoring. You cannot take your eyes off your stuffy baby. Okay, and don't get mad that they don't know better. They're playful. They get bored. They're highly active dogs. Way too active for me. Okay. I'm glad I have Paul here. I don't know if I could manage. I don't know if I could. Yeah, but if there is a will, there is a way. You can adjust, you can adapt to the situation. Yeah. If you love your dog, you can make it work. You can make your situation work, you know. So, yes, I'm a yellow astronaut. Go upstairs onto the alien spaceship 1, and sometimes I fly with the Tesla space shuttle that's up there as well, and also the flying spaghetti monster is also up there, and I'm gonna join him. Okay. That's the flying spaghetti monster is completed now with the paint and all of that, and I'll show that in a future video of my park and spaceship. Danny and Nikki Daisy are still making love up there in the park. They're in a permanent lovemaking situation. And Sandy is permanently held from behind by her lover. And Zane is standing next to them, looking at them with jealous facial expression, because he would like to be holding her instead of her lover. Yes, that's what he would like to do. Yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. If you are nice to women, you get the woman. It's simple math. It's not complicated. Be nice and you get the woman. Why is this so difficult to understand? It's not difficult at all. Don't bully a woman. Little bit teasing, okay, a little bit teasing. Don't call her tranny. It's very, very simple and straightforward, all of this. Don't call her turtle. Turtle and tranny, no. Red bar crust. Don't do it. Not even with an emoticon. No. I don't know if they have a tranny emoticon. They're probably gonna add that pretty soon. Don't show knives. Although the knife is is a couple of levels more honest than the turtle and the tranny emoticons. The knife is more honest. Okay, so that's several instances more honest. And the reason why is because the knife shows the direct anger. That's very honest to say, I'm angry, I'm showing you the knife. Okay. Or the scale, I want to get even. It's more honest than coming with these snarly insults. Every woman gets offended by that. Even the ones that will not admit it. No, I am so confident. That doesn't bother me. I know who I am. Yeah, we all know who we are. Okay, we all do. Okay? All of us women that are real, with the real meat flowers and all of that. We know. Okay? It still hurts. Okay, it still does. And that's why these insults are being used. Because it hurts us. Okay? So they use that to get even for, I don't know for what. They use it also to bully, to extort, to do blackmailing, like to extort nudes from women. Like, if you don't show me your pussy, I will call you tranny in the meantime. That's how they work. A Muslim man told me that directly. I could already figure that out, of course. I saw it. Yeah. They bullied people to death with that. And then a Muslim guy on Facebook, on a Facebook dating page, he told me that directly. He said this is a technique that they use, which is extremely cruel. If a man bullies me like this, there's no chance. Yeah, I will cry, I will feel insecure about my appearance. I feel like I look like a tranny. I feel like I look like a guy. I feel like I look unfeminine and all of that, and unpretty, ungirly. It hurts, I don't have super mega confidence, and no woman has that super mega confidence. If they act like it, they're only pretending. The more they're pretending to be confident, the more they're insecure, actually. Yeah, this is a fact. I observe this. The ones who are actually confident, they don't even go on social media. They don't even make selfies. They don't care. They're like Barbara McClintock. She would never even. Barbara McClintock is confident. Was. She died now. She got very old, and she did not give the F word. So she didn't. She really didn't. She showed people the finger. She was a scientist, and even though she discovered the jumping genes and they didn't believe her and they called her crazy, she showed the finger. All these years. She said she doesn't care what anyone says. So finally Dr. Robert Sapolsky came to visit her and said, they're catching on now. Science is catching on, was what you have always talked about. And she said, well, I'm glad they're finally catching on. I don't care though. Let me go back to my jumping genes. Let me go back to my lab, to my corn plants, and doing research on those. Now that's confidence. Okay? Someone who really doesn't give a hoot. So someone who is not even looking for a boyfriend, I don't even think she was looking for a boyfriend at all. She didn't care about any of this. She only cared about her research and her laboratory. So now that's confident. But if we are highly sexual and have a lot of hormones in us, whether there are men with a lot of testosterone or women with a lot of estrogen, like Sandy and myself, so naturally, yeah, it hurts, you know. It hurts when we're being bullied. So don't hurt us. Don't do it. Don't extort nudes. Sandy and I would never give in to this, okay? Because we're compassionate and we pay attention to these things. We question society. We don't give in to that. I don't give in to extortion of any sort. If a man says, "Oh, I want to see you. I want to see your lovely pink peachy," and if he's nice about it, you know, so yeah. If I feel shy, I'll say I feel shy right now. And then he gets a bit pushy, you know. Yeah, but I want to see you. If you love me, you have to show. Now that's also a little bit pushy, right? You know that. Not gonna mention names now. But that's pushy. No, don't do that. You have to be patient. That's all there is to it. Patient and sweet. And eventually you get what you want. Alright? I am an astronaut with a nice waistline. Yes, you are gorgeous. He already sees this here now. He sees this in my hand, and he is about to come over now. Don't let him go. He sees this in my hand with a wrinkled forehead, and he wants this. Yes, he wants this. He wants this real bad. I remember in LA we had Ludwig and Samantha, our former dogs, Great Danes, Harlequin Great Danes, and I made something out of Play-Doh, and Ludwig grabbed this very fast out of my hand, because I made photos with this, and I went like, look, and he grabbed it right out of my, I had to wrestle it out of his mouth, because I didn't want him to swallow this stuff. I don't know if this is good for him. This is a nice Play-Doh, cozy, relaxing video and afternoon. And after this video I'm gonna make myself a strawberry whole food vegan smoothie. That's what I want to do. It's a nice astronaut. I'm gonna get myself high gloss caulking material. I already experimented with this at the other house, and I'm going to mix that into my acrylic paint, because some of my acrylic paint, some of these are like tempera or whatever they're called, tempera colors. They're watercolor colors actually, but they mix with acrylic colors. Acrylic is also water based, but it has acrylic particles in it as well, which are polymers, derivatives from the oil industry, but they're emulsified into an emulsion where they are mixing with water, and when the water evaporates, then it only leaves the acrylic resin, like with this painting here. And then it's like an oil-based painting. But I don't recommend working with oil colors at all. I used to. My dad had oil colors. I used those. I bought some also in the past, but I don't work with oil based anymore. Because then you have to use turpentine, and that's like the same as nail polish remover. The only way I still work with it is through nail polish, which is obviously in some kind of polymer resin type. It's artificial, it's not oil based, but this can only be removed with nail polish remover, because otherwise it would come off my fingernails in just 1 hour of doing something with it. So this is very durable, but it grows out as the fingernails grow. The nail polish grows out, moves up like that. But yeah, I like fingernail polish. I like colors. It looks good. But I like to have my fingernails super short. I cut them today. They're super short. And that's how I like it. So short that it looks like I have been biting my fingernails off. But I like it that way. Because this is how I can do this here the best. Okay, I don't like to poke fingernail indentations into it. So when this padded part here is higher than the nail, then I can work the best with molding something. This is a model. Yes, I am a model. Okay, baby dog's content now. He didn't come over to get this. He is in Paul's arms, and that is good. Yes, it's really good. So what else did I wanna there were a couple of things I wanted to say. Sleep is really the foundation of health. Okay, lots and lots of sleep is the foundation of well-being, of health. And no substances, no drugs, no alcohol, no pharma drugs. Your brain, your liver, your blood, your organs depend on you giving it rest and sleep and oxygen and warmth and love and creativity and artwork and Mozart and Bach and Beethoven and Chopin and Rachmaninoff and hikes in nature and grounding and whole food, vegan food. Lots of raw vegan food to feed yourselves. Never ever put poisons into your body. Get well, get healthy. I don't miss the party days at all. It wasn't fun for me. I don't equate that with fun. To me that was stress, it was painful, it was toxic, I was throwing up. It was awful, it was terrible. The sex was bad. It was really bad. I didn't even feel anything. I was drunk. I mean, what's the point? Yeah, now, I'm having fun now because I'm healthy. So, okay. Okay, we're wrapping this up now. I'm gonna bring this upstairs. I'm also making myself a fantastic sweater. And the sweater is in this color here. In this gray there, in the middle there. Of Paul, that gray, that color. Nice gray. And then it will have a trim about in this color and this color. So that's almost the same as that color there. I love pastel tones. Making that sweater with long sleeves, but I make the sleeves where I can roll them up and where they stay up. This one used to have long sleeves. I cut them yesterday halfway off, so now I can roll them up and they stay up. So I like that better. I have to have my underarms free for working with my artwork, washing dishes, cleaning the house, doing different things. And because then I don't get any kind of OCD stuff onto my sleeves. And when I wash my hands, the water does not, cold water running down into sleeves, that's something I really don't like. I have an idiosyncrasy with that. I have an idiosyncratic aversion towards that. I do not like it. So, if I don't have sleeves on my underarms, then I can wash my hands and then I will put my arms up. The water will run down, but it will drip off my elbows instead of running into my sleeves. That's better. While I was drying my hands and arms. And I still need to go to a rubber store, and I need to buy rubber materials like what Ernie did, Paul's father did in LA. He went to a rubber store. That's really cool what he did there. He went into a rubber store and he bought himself a sheet of thick rubber, like almost as thick as this here. And he cut himself shoe soles out of it, and he stuffed that into his oversized shoes, and then he had no more problems with any kind of discomfort in the shoe or in the discomfort in the shoe. The shoe has discomfort. No, the foot has discomfort. Foot discomfort. I have some massive foot discomfort right now, and that is an emergency situation which drives me towards going to a rubber store. Otherwise I would never do it. I have to be driven by something to do something. Otherwise I'll be completely complacent with everything. Everything works, then I don't have to do anything. No, we have to be coached by our life situation sometimes. when something doesn't work out, you have to change your approach, and then you have to figure out some solution to solve the problem that you have, that you're dealing with in your daily life. So, and I know that there's a solution for every problem. For every single problem, there's a solution out there. For the haters, the solution is right in your face. Quit drinking alcohol and quit taking drugs. Okay, so there's a solution for you. And then be nice to women. Okay. Then don't be so picky. You know. Grab yourself a nice, sweet, compassionate lady. I know those are not that abundant in occurrence. If you go to a bar, there are not that many caring women or men. But, you are not very caring, so why do you need a caring person? Get yourself an uncaring person who is uncaring like you are. And then you can club your heads into each other. No, you can get yourself a nice woman who likes you. If she is not very compassionate, that means she is miserable and unhappy like you are. So then now try to make each other's lives better. Then you can have more compassion. You can be more attuned to other living beings and each other. Okay, and quit the substances. Okay? That's the first step to take. And give each other foot massages. Okay, then your lives will become better. I promise that to you. And if you find a compassionate woman, you better be ultra nice to her. Okay, and you stick with her, and you don't cheat on her. Don't cheat on anyone. Make a commitment. Tony Robbins said that, because he had a lot of people come to him and have the one-on-one sessions with him, and they would pay $10,000 for a session or something. And a lot of people, and then he would put all of this information into his 30-day audio tapes, and then we can all benefit from that. And he was talking about it, and he said that a lot of people, they come to him and they're really miserable about, they have nothing else to worry about. They don't worry about money, or they don't those people that can spend $10,000 on a session, they have their Ferrari and their Tesla, and they have everything in their yacht. The only problem that they have is they have these relationship problems with loyalty and all of that. They have their partners, and they themselves, they're constantly bombarded with people who want to be with them, because obviously they're also good looking, and they also have money, so they're in high demand from everyone. So the cheating challenge is very high with us. And then they come to Tony Robbins, men and women, and they complain on his shoulder, kind of like the Catholic confession booth, but more elaborate and more expensive. And then they go, I have everything, but my boyfriend is cheating all the time, and I don't know what to do. And or the man comes in and says, my wife's cheating constantly, I don't know what to do, and it's terrible. And then Tony Robbins gets them to talk a little bit about how they behave themselves in the relationship, and then they start to admit, well, yeah, I've been cheating too, and yeah, but I need to get even, or Oh, I better cheat before she cheats. Oh, that strategy does not work. Okay, so Tony Robbins says, if your approach doesn't work, change your approach. Let's try a different approach. Let's try this approach. Let's try the approach of you being completely faithful. And don't worry about what the other person does. You are faithful, right? You give your all. And then see what happens. And don't even worry about what happens. You give your all. Okay? It starts with you. Peace starts with you. Okay? And then Tony Robbins explained something with a metaphor. And he said, he asked one of these guys, he said, or I think it was a woman in that case. He said, if your boyfriend is constantly, or husband, constantly cheating, then you can give him your all. And she says, yeah, but what if I give all, and then Tony Robbins says, have you ever been in traffic? These questions also take them out of their mental states. And then they laugh and they say, yeah, of course, I'm driving back and forth to my work every day, to my office in the high-rise building. And he says, so then if you've been on the 405 freeway, right? You're driving down the 405 freeway at whatever, 6 a.m. in the morning. And, you have your radio on and you think everything is hunky-dory, So I don't know that he didn't say that. I'm adding this now. So, and then you think, oh, you don't even think about it, what. But if you were paranoid, you would start thinking, like, me, for example, when I drive, I get a bit paranoid. I get scared, or Paul too, And we start thinking, what if someone is drunk? What if they're too tired? What if they haven't slept? What if that's a semi-truck driver who didn't get sleep? What if this actually happened to my mother and me once in Germany. Semi-truck driver didn't get enough sleep. He comes onto the freeway from the off-ramp, from the on-ramp. And by a hair, my mother stepped on the gas. By a hair, we missed him. If she had not stepped on the gas with force, he would have caught us. He would have caught our car. And we had this little Renault. Oh, God. My mother's knees were shaking. Oh, my goodness. That was scary. So, yeah, these things can happen, But that's why we have to drive extra careful, The same, he used this as a metaphor for a relationship. You have to give your all. There's no doubt about it. Okay. When you're driving, you have to give your all. You have to drive carefully, no matter how recklessly other people are driving, or bullying, or coercing people, or tailgating. Paul always gets so strung up on that, But I keep telling him, the only leverage he has, he's falling asleep now, the only leverage he has, because this is like ASMR, so the only leverage he has, or you have, is that you give your all and that you drive carefully in your car, or truck, or whatever, okay, or airplane, and that you also are sweet and loving and careful in your relationship. And you give your 100% love and commitment to that relationship. And if the other person can't be committed, and you might give him or her another chance, but don't give your brother an endless amount of chances, because that doesn't help them learn, okay? As what Barack Obama did, or Joe Biden, that doesn't make anyone learn anything. That just makes things worse. At some point you have to set the boundaries, okay, and you have to say, hey, this is hurting me, or hey, we need our forests to not be burned down. We all need that, okay? We need the air from the trees. So I'm not going to give you another chance here. Okay. I'm going to show you the boundaries very clear. Yeah. And then you, in a relationship, you move on then. Okay. So with the next person, you give the same commitment again. Okay. Until it works out. That's how it works out. If you don't give your commitment, then you've already voided your chance of having a good relationship. If you don't even give your love, okay? So you have to be the one. You have to be the bright light to the other, okay? You have to give the commitment. I am committed to you, even though you're on the internet. Even though you're not committed, but I am. It's okay. I'm not even holding it against you. We're still on the internet. But in person, yeah, it would make me sad. If we did live together. So if we don't live together, that's an open relationship. Okay. So Tony Robbins said, when we're driving down a highway and we see traffic coming from the other side towards us, the only thing we can do, we can hope that they stay in their lane, right, and not swerve over. That's all we can do, and we can drive carefully. We have to give our all. We have to stay in our lane. And in the same sense, we have to give our all for a friendship, any kind of friendship, any relationship, and any work relationship too. Okay? So, we are going upstairs now. Peace and love for all living beings.